Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story comes from London and it's about a £4.2 million diamond robbery. Lula Lakatos, who is 60 years old and is from France, has been found guilty of conspiracy to steal on Wednesday the 28th of July. Following a 2-week trial at Southwark Crown Court, she evaded capture for 4 years and left the UK and returned to France and was only sent back in 2020. This is the story about a real-life gangster gran. Gangster Gran is a story by David Walliams, a UK author, about a grandma who steals diamonds and jewels in a series of storybooks for children. But Lulu was part of an international organised gang, they said in court, and she targeted the Boodles store in New Bond Street, London. She stole 7 gems on the 10th of March 2016. She was part of a gang of 5 who intrinsically planned the raid for some time. They say other people were in contact with Boodles and they posed as wealthy Russian investors who were looking to purchase gems. In the weeks leading up to the raid, meetings had been held in Boodles, and people that was pretending to be the investors had made an agreement that their own gemologist named Anna would come to check out the gems from Russia. This role was played by Lula Lakatos. The court was told that Lulu entered the country before the raid and checked into a hotel in Cricklewood in the company of a mysterious unknown woman. At around 8:20 on the 9th of March 2016, Lakatos met 2 men at a café near the hotel. All 3 drove into central London where they scoped out Boodles' store from the street. Lulu was dropped back to Cricklewood, and the following day she was now dressed as a gemologist named Anna, and she returned to the pre-arranged meeting at Boodles. Outside the store, 4 other members of the gang were present. Observing the events were 2 men who had also been seen with Lulu the previous evening, and 2 women who are yet to be identified. When she entered Boodles, she pretended that she couldn't speak English very well, and Lulu and the staff at Boodles communicated in French. But subsequently, the use of the language barrier played a part in the execution of the theft. After being shown into a secure area in front of the presence of Boodles' own gemologist, the 7 diamonds were produced to Lulu to examine. Each were individually placed in a locked bag and they were stored with Boodles until confirmation of the payment had been received. Following the inspection, she placed the bag containing the diamonds into her own handbag. The Boodles gemologist immediately challenged her, but Lulu used the apparent language barrier to cause a delay, and then she produced the lock bag that contained the diamonds from her handbag. However, in the seconds that she'd done this, she had switched the padlock bags for a duplicate one that was already stored inside her handbag and contained 7 pebbles of exactly the same weight. The gemologist raised concerns and a visual check of her bag was done and the padlock bag was not discovered. Lulu was then able to leave the shop and the staff was unaware of what had took place in front of their own eyes. She walked down the street and she was followed by 2 women. They caught up with her and CCTV showed Lulu transferring the bag to one of the women as they continued to walk. Further on, there was 2 other men in the distance and all of the gang went in their separate ways. Lulu took a taxi to Victoria Station where she changed her clothes in a pub toilet and then got on a Eurostar train and left the country. She was out of the country within 3 hours. The following day, employees at Boodles still had concerns over the way that Anna, the gemologist, had acted. The locked bag that was in their possession was x-rayed. While the items appeared to be the same size as the diamonds, they did not appear right. The bag was opened and the pebbles were discovered. An investigation was launched by the Metropolitan Flying Squad and they painstakingly began to piece together the evidence after analysing hours of CCTV and interrogating the forensic trail left behind by the gang and their contacts at Boodles. Lulu was identified and arrested and extradited back to the UK on the 3rd of December 2020. They said that this was an audacious theft carried out on experienced and professional staff at a renowned jeweller's, and the meticulous planning and execution of the theft reveals to the police that they were highly skilled criminals. Detective William Mann said, However, due to the tenacious work of the police, involving the analysis of evidence and the CCTV, we were able to bring Lulu to justice. She played a key role in the theft, and it's clear that she did not work alone. They were still trying to identify several people involved. 2 of the men that was involved in the case were arrested and convicted of conspiracy to steal. An investigation into the other 2 women has yet to reveal any identities. And sometimes in stories like this, it's about what the police don't say as opposed to what they do say. You will notice that they don't mention what happened to the diamonds, and this would mean that they didn't get them, because if the police had found the diamonds, then you can be damn sure that they would have told you. So this 60-year-old woman from France that came to Britain, robbed £4.2 million and disappeared again overnight, potentially still has access when she comes out after say 2 years to her share from this case. This isn't the first time that Boodles has been targeted. The Knightsbridge branch was actually attacked by a gang armed with knives and axes, and also ram-raided it with a Land Rover. This failed due to the Warrior doors that they had installed, and the company that installs these doors was not shy of promoting this. A Land Rover was rammed into the front of the shop, into the Sloane Street store, in front of horrified shoppers, in a daylight robbery. The would-be thieves, some of them arrived on mopeds, then tried to make off with jewels worth tens of thousands of pounds, but they fled empty-handed because they couldn't get through the doors. So this occurred 2 years after the robbery on the other store, but by Lulu and the gang. So I thought this is a really interesting story, and I definitely want to hear what people have to say on this. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.